Hey family, thanks so much for joining me. So I wanted to bring you another video. It will be a reading. So let me just put the disclaimer on it, take what resonates and leave the rest. And maybe your reading, it may not be your reading. You can use this as a manifestation reading. All you need to do is claim this for your own. Um, this is a timeless reading, so it could have already happened, could be happening now, it could happen in the future. If you would like to work with me, my information is in the description below. Astrology, readings, twin flame stuff, and more. I get my information from God and from the Holy Spirit. I don't use any cards or anything. Um, I sometimes will say divine feminine, and I mean divine masculine, and vice versa. We all have masculine and feminine energies in our bodies. And so use those terms as they make sense in your situation. But those roles can be switched. Um, I can't think of anything else, but if there's anything else, I'll try to sprinkle it into this reading. So let me get into it. All right, so it looks like for some divine feminines, you are building a wealth mindset. In the past, it may have been that someone tried to get you to believe that um, something was wrong with you. Maybe they bullied you. Maybe they called you names. Maybe they talked about you. Maybe, they said you didn't have money. And maybe at that time you hadn't leveled up yet. And so you felt insecure at times. And you did not know that the person that was saying those things to you actually felt insecure, and they were trying to make you feel insecure like they felt. Maybe they also had the similar experience where someone tried to make them feel inadequate, made them try to make them feel like they didn't have anything, that they were broke, and then they worked on leveling up. So they got um, the the boyfriend, maybe they were in a certain city with you, and maybe, you're pretty young, either fresh out of college or in college or starting out your career. And early in your career, maybe you hadn't, you know, built the career that you wanted to. And so others are looking at you that may have had a little bit more time, may have more advantages, may have more connections and things like that. So they may have tried to make you feel bad or make you feel inadequate or make you feel weak, make you feel broke, make you feel ashamed, because you didn't have everything that they had, and you had no idea that you just didn't have the advantages that they had. You didn't have the connections, you didn't have the family there, maybe in the city, or people that would help you or that you thought would help you. Whatever it was, maybe you were trying to get into a certain career and maybe you didn't get into that career. Maybe it wasn't for you, or maybe you're looking for something that might have been a better fit, or whatever was happening. Um, but we all have to remember that God closes doors and opens other doors for a reason, that um, there are things that maybe your parents tried to warn you about and you didn't listen because you thought they'll know what they're talking about. And then you got hit with the same stuff. And then later they came back and said, see, I tried to warn you, I tried to protect you. And so you learned your lesson, but it was from your own experience. And so you might be the type of person that needs to get your own experiences before you really learn things. And there might be others of you that can get the benefit of others' experiences and develop some wisdom so that you don't have to go through the things that other people go through. So there are people on both sides of that, I would say. Um, but one of the goals is to work toward creating a mindset so that you can benefit from other people's experiences, so that you don't have to waste so much time, energy, effort on doing something that's not going to turn out to be fruitful for you. But you might have run into people who, like I said, try to make you feel bad for not having as much as they had at the time, and you're not putting things together and thinking maybe this is not the career for me. Maybe your goal was you want to make a lot of money, you want to, and what was the reason, you so this is a season I feel like where a lot of us are getting to that place where we're looking at why are we doing what we're doing. Are we doing it because we really want to? Are we looking at doing something because someone else wants us to? You wake up so many years later and feel miserable because you're with the husband or the boyfriend or the partner that you don't want, or you're in the city that you hate, that you don't want to live in, that you think is awful, with the job or the business that you hate, with, you know, a maybe you don't look the way you want to look. Maybe you don't have the style that you want, but you're doing so many things. You need the designer bags, you need the designer shoes, you need the designer belts, you need designer, this and that. You need this type of car, that type of car, and then you feel like you've arrived when none of those things are things that you want. So I think a huge focus for this reading is for you to level up in the way that you want to level up, but do the work that you really love doing. Stop doing stuff that you know you hate. Um, the thing that you're going to be most successful in is going to be the thing that you want to do, that you'll put time and effort into, and it pays off, but not stuff that someone else wants you to do, or wearing clothes that someone else wants you to wear, the style someone else wants, or the car someone else wants, or the partner someone else wants. That's not for you. But it took you sometimes to go through things in order to understand that when you create something for yourself, it should be something um, that you are interested in, that you like, that you're passionate about, that you love, that you think is right for you, that you know is right for you. And so your knowing is what leads you to the doors that are open for you. And your knowing is what leads you to the relationships that are right for you. Your knowing is what leads you to the cars, the clothes, everything, the financial abundance and all that that is right for you, because you don't want to, it's sort of like you don't want to stay in something because you want to maintain a certain lifestyle, but you hate it. So for example, some people are miserable in what they're doing in business or a job, but they're like, well, they don't want to leave because they want to stay, they want a certain income, they want a certain lifestyle, they want a certain house, they want a certain car, they want certain clothes, they want certain relationships with people and this and that. And instead of figuring out a way that they could do it so that it works for them, they continue to do the thing that they hate because they think that's the thing that they need to do. And this could be divine masculine or divine feminine, but both of you, if you're experiencing this, consider, what do I need to do to make sure that I'm where I want to be and where I know I'm supposed to be, to have whatever it is that is for me, but that God has called me into, instead of doing something that you hate because you want to buy certain clothes or cars or, bags or shoes or whatever, relationships even. It's unfortunate. But it's important for all of us to consider, why are we doing what we're doing? And being authentic and genuine is super important, so that we don't get locked into a lifestyle that we hate. And then a lot of people, end up regretting it. And I don't know what they might do to get out of it. And it's very unfortunate. But it's important, to consider, if you're unhappy with what you're doing, finding ways to do the things that you really love or enjoy doing. Um, but so many people have also racked up a lot of debt so that they could live a certain lifestyle that other people want, not that they want. Because if they just turn off all the noise, turn off the social media that, you know, people are posting about their fake lives on, pretending that they have money, pretending they have relationships, pretending they're happy, pretending they have all kinds of material things when they don't. It's not real. And for you, divine masculine or divine feminine or both, you need to know that you don't have to live that life. You can actually focus on doing the thing that is making you happy, focusing on yourself. And now it doesn't mean that you can't do something that's financially lucrative. That just means that you're not likely to stay longer term in something that you really hate. um, you'll be more likely to do something that you enjoy, that you're good at, put your time, attention, efforts into, and get something out of it that's really meaningful and fulfilling for you and your family if you have a family. But just the biggest, one of the biggest things is focusing on doing the things that are right for you and not the things that other people want you to do. And so maybe you feel like, you're in a relationship with someone, and maybe this is part of it too, that you feel like they live their lives doing things that make other people happy. And so they put pressure on you, and you feel like, well, I got to do this because the divine, masculine tells me that I need to do this, or I got to wear this hair. I need to wear these clothes. I need to wear these shoes. I need to wear these boots. I need to have this bag, this or that, or maybe they buy it for you. But then you feel like what they call, you have on golden handcuffs, that you feel like now you're locked into a certain lifestyle and you can't do what you really want to do, break out and have some fun or just be you, let your own hair down, or style it the way you want to, or wear clothes that you want to, or just wear a dollar store t-shirt if that's what you want to do because you are comfortable in that instead of wearing stuff fitting. You feel like you're in a cage or something, and that's not what you want. That's not where you want to be. So it's important for you to focus on um, doing the things that are fulfilling, that you enjoy, that you're good at. If you're in a relationship, make sure that it's not a relationship where you feel like none of you is present. And the person who got with you for a certain reason. And now it feels like you've totally changed and you're listening to everything that they want you to do. And now you're not the person that they fell in love with anyway. And on top of that, they're not the person that you thought they were. And so, really, a lot of things are going on that way, but make sure that you're also not doing something that someone else wants you to do, living the life someone else wants you to live, your partner, friends, family, so called friends, whoever. Make sure that you're not doing these things to yourself and putting yourself in a place where you're miserable and you don't even know who you are anymore. When you really get back to just being who you are, saying what you want to say, doing what you want to do, you kind of take a step back and look at this person in their life, and you start to realize the divine masculine is not as happy as he seemed to be, or his life is not what you thought it would be. He's taking cues from you on how to be his real self because at times he's been through so much stuff he doesn't even know who he is anymore. And maybe, if you continue on this path, you won't know who you are anymore either. And you're maybe the authentic, genuine person that he was hoping would pull him out of what he's been in for such a long time that he hated so much. And then if he can't be authentic and genuine, then maybe you need to find a partner that is going to be genuine with you. So maybe that's a part of it as well, that you're kind of discovering you may need to leave a relationship because every time you stand up for yourself, or every time you say something you want to say or do something you want to do, every time you wear what you want to wear, every time you post something you want to post, or um, every time you do your hair a certain way, you got to hear feedback from, this person about it, but they're criticizing you or they're saying, no, you can't do this, you can't do that, instead of supporting you and your individuality. So just make sure that you're not with a partner who is also kind of trying to stuff you down, trying to stuff down the parts of you that are the reasons that they fell in love with you in the first place. So you may end up, ending friendships or ending romantic relationships with people, or you may end up walking away from a job or a business, and starting something new. But if it's true to you, then you have to do the thing that you know is the best for you. Um, so I think the biggest message is make sure that you're doing things that are true to who you are. Make sure your style is your own, that you're driving the car you want to drive because you got to pay for it. Living the life that you want to live because you got to wake up and look at yourself in the mirror every day. And some people feel like so they feel this imposter syndrome because they are imposters. So getting back to really being honest, being who you are, um, doing what you want to do, doing what you're interested in, that you're good at, that can be financially lucrative for you as well. These are things that are really important. Um, right now, you've been glowing up, of course, and a lot of people are looking. A lot of people are wanting actually now to be you, and you're the trendsetter instead of it being the other way around. Other people are feeling inadequate or feeling, like they don't have the money, they don't have this, they don't have that, and here you are, being successful, paying down your debts, you're getting all the things that you want. Now you have the life that other people want to live, but you have to remember your role in this world is a leader, is a boss. And so you have to step into that energy and stand in that energy. That is what is important in your life. So I'm going to bring you some more reading soon. Thank you so much for joining me for this one. As always, happy lightning fast manifesting. And I'm going to talk to y'all soon. Happy New Year, everyone. Love y'all. Bye for now.